Thank you very much. Also, welcome from me. Ms. Condroleu will not be joining us today, which leaves me with two good friends and colleagues. First, we have Ismini Bogdanou, who is the Director of Communications and Marketing at the Hellenic Association of Producers, HAPO, and Dr. Michalis Hadjievstathiou, who's on the board of the Panhellenic Society of Technologists and Ichthyologists. So would like to start with a quick introduction from each one of you about what you do in your organization, please. Ismini.
Hello, everyone. I'm so happy to be here among doctors and professionals in aquaculture, scientists. Well, my work is completely different. I come from the world of advertising and communication. It's a career spanning almost 30 years. I'm here at the sector of aquaculture 7 years. I started with HAPO 2017, and this sector, I can say, has completely absorbed me. I'm immersed in the waters of aquaculture, and I have worked with people with great intelligence I haven't met before. So this has made my work very interesting in developing a program in carving, actually, a very delicate program in promoting the sector to consumers and businessmen and wholesalers, retailers. However, being a very extrovert person, we have managed with our members and the board of directors to create important contacts, not only with consumers and retailers and wholesalers, but actually the industry, the businesses, and most importantly, the Ministry of Aquaculture and Agriculture and Food. So I believe that our biggest achievement being a producers organization is that by now we are a trusted ally of the ministry and the point of reference of the media. So today, if there is a question, everybody addresses themselves to HAPO instead of looking and searching for a question here and there. We are here to carve and put together legislation with the ministry, and we are here also to help the ministry and our members in progressing in their everyday job.
Thank you. Michali?
All right. So thank you very much, Yorgos. Thank you, GFCM, for inviting me here. Also, our society asked to help for this organization, and it was our glad to help to this successful event. So on my own, some small introduction, I'm an ichthyologist. This is my background. I'm working in the field from different placements for the last more than 35 years. And I have a PhD on estimation of contribution of aquaculture in the sustainable development of island regions. My placement, my daily work is that I'm the head of the Department of Common Fisheries Policy and Common Market Organization at the Greek Directorate General for Fisheries. So this is my daily work. Now about our society represents more than 2,000 graduate ichthyologists working in Greece with 450 full members. What we have done during the last years is to work together with the colleagues from HAPO and before that with FGM, the Greek mariculture, for the promotion of Greek mariculture, having in mind what can a scientist, a technician can do for the well-being of the culture of the farmed organisms, but also for the protection of the marine environment.
Thank you very much, and I think it is for our discussion that has to do with progress and competitiveness. It's really important that we have the two main representatives of human resources, of the human element in aquaculture, the people that work in the production process, and also the producer organization. So I would like to start by discussing a little bit what the challenges that you have to face in your role as a producer organization towards increasing competitiveness and progress are.
It's easier today than what it was in 2016 when we first established the Hellenic Aquaculture Producer Organization. Actually, it was the vision of many of our Greek producers for many years, and it took many years to make it a producers, an acclaimed and recognized producer organization. This happened in 2018. Being a producer organization is by itself challenging because we receive a lot of information, and this is, I believe, the biggest challenge from researchers, institutions, academic institutions, the academia, that we need to disseminate to the public. So one of the biggest challenges is diluting the information and giving it forward to the consumer and the retailers, wholesalers, etc., what I said before. Another big challenge that we had before, I think we are in a very good condition now, was to establish ourselves, to the PO, of course, as a trustworthy partner, not only in the Greek mines, for example, as I mentioned before, for the ministry, but to foreign committees. Today we are members of the European Aquaculture Society, AS, the Federation of European Aquaculture Producers, the Aquaculture Advisory Council, and we, in Greece, HAPO, is a member of the Northern Greek Society of Exporters, which has more than 500 members, and the Association of Food Producers in Athens, SEVE and SEV. Being members of all these companies is a credible result that by now many of our challenges have been overpassed. I need to mention here also that our partners are with the association of course, Mr. Hajifstathiou and GFCM. So biggest challenges are mostly overcome.
Thank you. Michali, what about the Society of Technology and Theologies of the people that work actually in the aquaculture production?
Okay. Let's start that at the beginning, mostly 25 years ago, we noticed that there were some problems with working the production. Our sector is one of the sectors globally that have a very high rate of working incidents in work. So one of the main concerns in the beginning, working with the producers, it was an effort to minimize the accidents. And this effort we produced together with the funding from European Union Agency for Safety at Work, a health and safety guide for workers in aquaculture that was freely introduced and disseminated, and it's still in use from the farms. This initially it was followed by a training on site, and on training also we trained the trainers, our colleagues that were going to be there as production managers. So this is what we made initially. Also, one part of our work, the part of union of workers, because our society is a scientific and professional society, it was for a long period together with the union of producers to fix the minimum amount of the workers for the scientific personnel working in fish farms. After the fiscal crisis that Greece faced, this stopped, but after we managed to have a wage that is sufficient for our colleagues to have a good working and living conditions. After that, the last 15 years, I can say, our main effort is to promote the scientific part of our colleagues, because we think that it's not only the research that it counts, not only innovation, but to have this innovation as fast as we can going to the production. So together with, we start to have some international congresses in our society, but after 2014 we merged our international congress together with another congress from the Department of Thessaly in Ichthyology, and now the last years, every 2 years, we have one major scientific congress in Greece focused on applied ichthyology, oceanography, and aquatic research, together with the 3 departments that give the degree of ichthyologist in Greece, Patra, Thessaly, and Mytilene in Lesbos, but also with other departments like from the University of Belgrade in Serbia, or with the Department of Animal Nutrition that we have before discussed. So this effort is continuous because we believe that as fast as the technology and the innovation goes to the production, as it is better for the whole production to be better and sustainable, especially for small farms. Something that we must also mention is that I'm taking time now from the others, because something that initially have to deal with the small producers is that if you spend your money to the human resource and you have to have an ichthyologist and specialized staff to your personnel, do not try on your own to go that. It's an investment to the future. Because if everything goes smoothly, usually you can manage your farm. The problem is that if something is not according to the manual, then you do not have the knowledge to make the needed actions fastly. And this costs money and destroyed a lot of farms. Because if a farm is not small, if you have a big company, probably there are some other colleagues working there that you can consult. If you are a small farm, you must depend on your own. And the better way to depend on your own is to have sufficient scientific advice on site. This is something initially we have problem to persuade the producers, but the last years they understand that it's a good investment. It's something that reduces the cost of feed. And this means that it increases the total income of the farmer at the end of the year.
Thank you. So over the discussions with the previous two panels, we had some recurring themes and emphasis on information and technology and traceability. Very diverse also themes, meaning including consumer engagement, governance and regulatory issues, and also a big shift towards the discussion on feed sustainability. So, Ismini, I would like to start with you and asking you what the role of HAPO and how HAPO views itself within these trends and these changing conditions as far as, again, competitiveness and progress is concerned.
HAPO is not only the communication department, which I hereby represent. There are different sectors, and one of the most important sectors is the scientific committee that we do have at HAPO, with a variety, with various staff and scientists from different companies. Also, the institutional affairs, and the sector of social responsibility, which I didn't hear at all being mentioned before, and this is my favorite subject. So, complying to all you said before, all these sectors in HAPO are active daily. They work together with the universities. Actually, here the University of Agriculture, Geoponiko, Thessaly, Patras, the Aegean, to promote, sustain, and often sponsor the programs that pertain to fish welfare, the seas, the environment, life cycle, and other various subjects that interest today the consumers. So at this domain, HAPO is very active, and I'm proud to be part of that as well. Concerning governance and strategy, actually, and governance, we aim every day to apply to the new ESG principles, which are important also for HAPO and its members. And since we mentioned that here, I need to say that the section of HAPO that is interested and active in the environmental and social responsibility is very big, takes a huge amount of our time. Not only do we give fish to underprivileged societies, this is the easy part, but we promote women empowerment There was another woman in the panel. Here it was just me, and actually the majority here is women. I'm very happy. We support education with scholarships to the University of Thessaly, and now this year we'll start the University of Patras as well. Health campaigns, poverty campaigns, health and sports in the local communities. So it's not only producing fish, it's being an active member in the societies we operate, since one of the biggest challenges in aquaculture, and not only for HAPO, is accepting aquaculture as a sector and consuming the products that come from farms.
Thank you very much for that. Michali, you representing the human element in production, and with all the changing conditions and changing ecosystem and world around us, how does the Panhellenic Society deal with all these themes, and what do you do? What's the role of the society regarding keeping the human element up to speed with all that?
We think that one of our main role is to bring the colleagues in a connection between them, and also to other colleagues working in Europe or to other parts of the world, networking. This happens with our collaboration with the European Aquaculture Society as a first, but also we are a part, a member society at the World Council of Fisheries Society, that together we organized last March in Seattle the World Fisheries Congress. So every information, every networking that we have it's directly going to all our members through Facebook profile, that it's easier for everyone because it's an open page that anyone can join. Any information that we have is directly announced there, but also with our congresses and workshops, we are trying to have, to educate, to train our members to be not only our members, this is something I want to, the information that we give is open to everyone. It's targeting mainly our members because we are a member-based society, but the information is free, as will be the proceedings of our International Congress that published in 15 days. This will be a link to the Congress site. It will be freely distributed to everyone because this is what we are trying to do. Also, we have feedback from our members. If there's a problem with crisis with the increased temperature, I need help from other colleagues, we bring them together and bring them to discuss the issue with colleagues that have faced in the past the same issue, or if they want to stay anonymous through the members of our society, we have a group on this issue, R&D, Research and Development Group. I'm the head of the coordinator of this group that can give the knowledge to the other colleagues without specific knowledge of the farm or of the site that probably had a problem for anonymity reasons. So this is the way we work successfully, I believe, until now, because we have the collaboration with all these agencies on Europe and abroad. About the problems with governance, I prefer not to comment because of my work and obligations.
Okay, understood. Thank you. Ismini, as some closing thoughts regarding the way forward and the future for HAPO within this changing scenery?
I learned that. Well, as everybody said, this is a very challenging question, of course. So let's talk about HAPO first. HAPO nowadays is standing very well on its feet. The members are united. There is a very close cooperation and agreement of moving forward. I would like to mention this point, that since we are at a conference that discusses small-scale aquaculture, regardless of their size, either big companies with 20,000 tons production or 300 tons production, small family businesses. They have the same respect and the same privileges in the organization, which works with completely transparent and democratic procedures. This is a very good basis for the future. Concerning aquaculture, I'm not in production, so I'm not the person exactly to say, but I'm in all meetings because of my role. So I don't think that many things will change within the next 5 years. Nowadays, we cannot talk about 10-year plan. We can talk about 5 years, seeing how the thing's going and seeing the reluctance of the government to apply some decision pertaining to new zoning. Production will not be able to grow in a desired effect. So we're working in compliance with the government. We work towards that route, of course, taking into consideration that there are societies that do not approve what we do, they're resistant, and also we're trying to work our way around this resistance.
Thank you. Michali, way forward.
So about the same. We discuss about the consumer, about the perception of consumer, about new species, new ingredients, and this. This is a discussion that I followed the last 3 years. Even before 15 days, I was in Jordan and the Regional Ocean Summit. It was again the same discussion. What about the fish? What about the ingredient? About the nutrition and the cost of all of this? And what I have said there is that technology and solutions, they are now almost to solve any of our problems. There are only a few problems that we cannot solve as ichthyologists, as technologists, as engineers. So the problem is not technologically this fact. It's the perception of the consumers and the perception of the public. The perception of the public as far as concerns the role and the contribution of aquaculture to the safety of population as far as its nutrition, and from about the ingredients and the nutrition, the perception of what is best. As far as we consume carnivore species, that is the main production species, we cannot alter totally their food. We want to avoid the mad cow disease affecting the fish. So if we have carnivore species, we had to feed them with their normal feed in the natural environment. So they will eat fish. But if we change the perception of a consumer from 90% of carnivore species to 50% of carnivore species and to other species like carp or then we need a lot much less ingredients coming from capture fisheries. So, but this is not a technological issue. This is something that we are trying as a society and all the societies together to work with the consumer organizations and the consumer to widen up the species that are farmed, but also the perception of the consumers to buy this fish and these products when they when they are going to the supermarket or when they are going to the local market and buy these species or alien species that also have started to be introduced because we are reducing the problem to the environment. So our main focus now as a society is this, to persuade the consumers that there are alternatives to carnivore species and to work with the producers to widen up the species that are farmed.
However, Michali μου, and some our friends here, we have many foreigners, but we're mostly Greek. This is an axiom that I usually say. Greeks don't eat fish, neither farmed nor wild. And in Greece, since I'm making the statement right now. It's not what they eat if they're farmed or wild. Greeks love the lamb and they love the katsiki. So that's what they want to do. We are not a maritime nation as we believe we are. Greeks grew up on the mountains, away from the beaches, because they were afraid of the mermaids, the different, yes, they were afraid of the pirates, they were afraid of the wars. So as you go to islands like Folegandros and Zia and Naxos, and they don't have fishermen, because people are agriculturists, and how do you say the people who grow? And shepherds. They grow cows and goat and sheep. So all this perception has to change, and at HAPO, this is very difficult. We try a lot, but still, 3 times per week, the medium Greek, the average Greek, will eat vegetables and osprey, 1 time meat, and less than 1 time fish. So unless we put the fish on the table, there will not be a change in the volume and the value of aquaculture in Greece. Thank you.
So, apart from thanking you for tonight, I wanted to thank you both personally and your organizations for all the support you have given to this program regarding both the field trips and the visits, but also your input in the training process. So, thank you very much.
Thank you.